Okay, let's unpack this. When I first heard about this, I have to admit, I thought it sounded completely outlandish. People actually selling rainwater. I mean, how does something that seems so, well, free turn into a real business?
Yeah.
It sounds a bit nuts, honestly, but apparently it's a real thing. So this deep dive, we're looking into this pretty unexpected business model that's popping up where water's scarce and, prices are high.
Yeah, and it's really important to get this right off the bat. This isn't just like someone running around with a bucket when it storms. That's not what we're talking about. What's fascinating here is that it can be a highly sophisticated, often regulated industry. It's thriving in very specific areas because, yes, it uses a free resource, but the value that comes from the tech and the process, it kind of flips your idea of a commodity.
That's a really crucial distinction. Okay, so
Yeah.
where are we actually seeing this happen? Where is this taking hold? I'm guessing dry places.
You're spot on. Yeah, primarily places like California, especially the drier parts. Also parts of South Africa and some areas in Australia, too. These are regions where, water resources are genuinely tight and the cost of city water is just going up and up. So that creates the gap in the market, the economic incentive. And in these places, collecting rainwater isn't just like allowed. It's often regulated.
Right.
Properly.
Regulated. So what kind of hurdles are there? I mean, regulations usually mean challenges. It can't be as simple as just putting out a barrel.
Oh, absolutely not.
Yeah.
The how it works part is pretty involved. You need high-grade catchment systems. Think big rooftops usually.
Yeah.
These funnel water into specialized storage tanks. But then there's filtration. Serious filtration. We're talking food-grade surfaces, UV-protected pipes, multi-stage filters,
Yeah.
maybe even reverse osmosis or UV sterilization sometimes. Yeah, the whole point is getting enough volume, sure, but also hitting really strict quality control. It has to be sellable. Sometimes it even needs to meet or beat drinking water standards, depending on the use. So that means health department rules, licenses, inspections, water quality reports. It's a proper commercial operation, not just a backyard thing.
That's way more complex than I pictured. Okay, so once they jump through all those hoops, who's actually buying this high-quality rainwater? Is it a niche market?
Surprisingly diverse, actually. You've got landscaping companies, for example. They like it because it's eco-friendly, sure, but also because it helps them avoid really high municipal water bills for irrigation. Then you have, say, rural homeowners or farms. Maybe they're far from city water lines or their wells aren't reliable. This is an alternative. Even local governments sometimes buy it for things like street cleaning or watering parks, non-potable uses.
Okay, that makes sense.
And yeah, we've seen event organizers use it to look greener. And then, like you hinted at, there are even some beverage companies branding it as, artisan rainwater.
Right, the artisan rainwater. So connecting this back, the water itself is free, falling from the sky. So what are people really paying for here? Where's the actual product?
This is the genius part, I think. It turns the usual resource model upside down. You don't pay to get the raw material. Nature delivers it free. The brilliance isn't finding rain. It's in the whole process, capturing it efficiently, purifying it properly, storing it safely, delivering it reliably. So what's being sold? It's the infrastructure, the tech, the filtration system, the licenses you need, the quality assurance, and yeah, sometimes the branding. That's where the profit is. It's leveraging that free input with smarts.
And that branding can get pretty wild, right? Bottling it as luxury hydration. I saw taglines like, harvested from the sky, untouched by humans. And I mean, does that premium angle actually work? Or are people just like, hang on, it's just rain? Is there skepticism?
It's definitely a clever marketing tactic. It plays on ideas of purity, maybe environmentalism, or just plain novelty. Sure, some people might be skeptical, but others are drawn in. It also brings up the legal side again, though. Some places do restrict how much rainwater you can collect, or they require specific permits. It's not a free-for-all everywhere. But where it is legal, and once that infrastructure is paid off, the margins can look pretty good. Think about it. A big one-time cost for the system, but then your main raw material cost is basically zero forever. Rain keeps falling.
So what's the takeaway here?
Yes.
It feels like a really stark example of how resource scarcity plus some genuine innovation can create a business out of thin air or, well, out of rain. It really makes you rethink what counts as a valuable commodity.
Absolutely. It's quite provocative. So maybe the next time you hear that rain hitting the roof, don't just think of it as sound or maybe something annoying you have to run through. Think of it as, maybe a potential passive income stream, a liquid asset just waiting to be collected.